Welcome back in for another night call. For night 2. Been a good minute since I've picked this up. As you can tell, I've recorded quite a decent amount of time ahead. You open one eye, you find your studio calming. There's something special about living in a garret. Garret? Like yours is the last place before the sky starts. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio for night 2. I haven't really done a whole lot of Uber or Lyft as of late, but I do need to get back on it. Let's do this one, I guess. Get our first person. In front of the door to a restaurant, a woman in a fancy suit. You didn't let me finish it. Hey pal, can you help me out? Okay, I mean, yeah, the fare's decent. Distance, yeah, that's worth it. Door opens. It's Harvey, a homeless man like hundreds of others in Paris. How's he a suspect? Did he witness some? We've known each other for years, and every now and then he's asked a favor of you to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge. Hey, buddy, what's up, pup? He has a strange verbal tick that you've never really understood. You start the cab. Pretty cold tonight, right? His voice is a particular lit to it, as if certain syllables were sung to stop him from stuttering. So I'm assuming he's been drinking. Hey, are you cold with your ass stuck to the car seat of yours? Yeah, we freeze our asses off. No, I'm fine. Yeah, let's go with, yeah, we freeze our asses off. That's what I thought. You can't fool me. I know a cold guy when I see one, huh? I've got a place to stay in Passy. Any way you can give me a lift? Sure, of course. Great, mate. That way we stay nice and warm. In the 50 years I've been on the street, it's never been this cold, I swear. You know, some guys aren't going to make it, shit. That's how it goes. For us, yeah. Because a pause, he smells it gradually permeating the inside of the cab. The smell gradually permeate. You know what the word is. It doesn't bring back fond memories, but it doesn't bother you either. I don't think I've ever had anybody in my car that smelled. Other than if somebody farts and doesn't say it, jack diddly squat about it. You'll leave the door open later on the air, to air out the cab. But you know, I'm used to it, even before, sure. I don't think I ever told you when I was a kid I was never cold old. Never. A weird, uneasy break. One time my mother dragged me to the Pyrenees during vacation. I don't know what that is, so if anybody that knows French or France in general, please let me know what that is. Don't know. I didn't know that the hell to do with me. Like to drink, you see. And the first night we were there, I broke the bottle of gin she'd brought along. Should have seen her. Threw a fit, shit. He gave me a thrashing, but I gave a as good as I got. So that's how we used to talk back then. She ended up dragging me by my pants and locking me out on the balcony. Icicles were hanging from the eaves. I'm assuming that's eaves. It had snowed the day before, sure. Sat there for an hour, arms crossed with like a cardigan on my back, Mac, and underpants on my ass. I didn't budge. She was storming around the apartment. My old lady was yelling at me, but I didn't hear nothing. Okay, this guy is not the murderer. Not at all. And well, the cold didn't get me a C. Felt nothing at all. Nah. Wish I could say the same today. When was that? What happened in the end? No. Go ahead. Ask him what happened at the end. Well, it got dark out. She let me in. Did. She was furious all week. It was the last time we went on vacation together. After that, she died. Number up. Yup. A pause. I used to tell my buddy Seb the story all the time. You know, the tall black guy who used to hang around with me? Yeah. Well, he really loved that story. He asked me to tell it to him over and over again. But I think what he really loved was hearing me talk about my old lady. You know what I mean? Doesn't make us any younger. Hey? The cab pulls up to the shelter in Passy. Like the last time I was here, there was a protest out front. A bunch of guys from the neighborhood who didn't want us to squat the place. They were yelling their heads off, sounded like a bunch of goddamn sailors. Yeah, sailors. So I guess even those rich dudes have balls. He exits the cab. Thank you. Thanks, man. I know I can count on you. Good luck. He rubs his hands together and walks towards the shelter. Right, because he's homeless. Okay. That's fine. Didn't learn jack, but that's fine. Let's see here. Any other suspects? No. We're doing okay on gas. Let's go check out this place. I have no idea what it is. Gotta be like some kind of sighting or something. Possibly where the shooting happened. Or the chinking. I don't remember exactly what happened. You park a few streets away from the Argentina embassy. You wait there for your contact. Oh, okay. You saw it seemed so odd to have a contact so excessive. The guy is one of your regular poker buddies, a night watchman at the embassy. You get out of your taxi and walk towards the big metal gate. Clean lines, early 20th century, maybe a lot of root iron. The gate opens and someone moves towards you. They dedicate you should follow them. Indicate you follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if it was I mean, if we know the context, then yeah, let's just follow. Don't give him any suspicions, just in case. You walk into a narrow, covered passageway, probably an entrance to a parked garage. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. The lighter lights up his face for a second, a young man with curly hair, pale skin. He looks young, very young. That'll be 250 euros. For the intel? Is it worth it? For the intel? Yeah, for the intel. That's a strange guttered sound. But you think this was a date? Want information on Godriskier? I got info on Godriskier and it costs you 250 euros, so what'll it be? Bargain. He raises his hand in front of his chest. His accent becomes stronger. Now it's 250 euro or nothing. If someone learns I finished around, they'll fire me on the spot. Fine, we'll pay. For that price, you hope the intel is good. You pay. Listen up, because I'm not gonna say it twice. Butcher is definitely a colonel from the junta, one of the few who wasn't just arrested and put on trial. He is responsible for torturing dozens of political opponents. He tortured and killed them. You know, we don't like him much here, but the rich originants in Paris love him. They really respect him. Not 100% sure, unless someone's like aristocrats, I guess. Just not the exact word. Dyslexia sucks. Respect him. Thank you. Is that all? Respected him? Respected him? The difference doesn't seem important to him. Yeah, if it makes you happy. He looks back at you. There's one last thing. I read in the newspaper that the killer wrote a message in shock. Time's up. It was a slogan at the end of the junta. Are these months? A sort of watchword for the opportunist. It was time for them to go. You get it? You nod. A second later, you're back in your taxi while a hole in your wallet, but with new information on one of the victims. If you follow this lead, maybe you'll investigate will move forward. You start your car and get back to your shift. Alright. Shit ton of cash gone, but we got intel. Let's check her out. I didn't even get the chance to look at it. The passenger who's entered your cab slams the door and stares at you intently. Good evening. Can I help you? Where are you going? Oh, let's just ask. Where are you going? Nah. Can I help you? I don't know yet. Although the real question is, how can you help yourself? The fuck? I'm not sure I follow. Do we know each other? Get out of my cab. Stare at her. Do I know each other? She gives a sour laugh. Don't play innocent with me. If I were to say it to you, her voice is slightly raspy with an oddly metallic sound. October 27th. That's the date, the night of the attack, the night you... Could this one be the judge? 10:46 p.m. No, the attack took place later. Does this ring a bell? You nod your head. Answer. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me. Not another word. He wiggles an accusing finger at you. Last October 27th. You were in this very cab driving a fare. And you committed a crime. The hell? That's right, sir. A crime. Let it go on. I'd spent the whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? Town crier. Wow, okay. Teacher? Lower your eyes, say nothing. Say nothing. I'm a sub-editor. Mr. Taxi driver. I correct mistakes that a bunch of morons journalists make. There isn't a single one, not one, who knows how to write a proper sentence. I'd had it, really had it, and on the night of October 27th, you cut me off. Yeah, at this point, if I interrupt her now, she's just gonna get even more ticked. Say nothing. I almost died that night. She grinds her teeth, you shudder. I crashed my car, my boyfriend's car, that's it. The guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbor called the police that night. I made such a scene. Do you think the guy dares calls himself a feminist? He pauses for a dramatic effect as disturbing smile spreads over her face. Let's interrupt her now. And what does that have to do with anything? Everything. Her voice is suddenly noticeably quieter, almost fragile. The next day, no more boyfriend. No more car. I messed up a job interview with a major news outlet. A paper where people know how to write, where they follow basic rules of French grammar. Imagine for just a minute, I could have stopped correcting copy for a bunch of morons. She takes a deep breath. But all because of you, because of your cab, everything changed the night of October 27th. A sad faraway look comes over her. My life has never been the same since. But her voice is bursting with fury and hatred. Forced to go live with my mother while I went apartment hunting in the rotten city where tiny studios cost an arm and a leg. So I started looking for you. The back of your neck breaks into a sweat. You can feel cold, calm, clammy droplets about to drip down your spine. I started asking around. I bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. A droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. Then I found your address, your first one. That is. You shiver as the drop reached your boxers. But that's your business. What matters is I did eventually get your other address, the real one. The droplet has reached the tailbone. You've started shaking. Yeah, this is not looking good for us. At first, I admit, I was planning on going to your place. She shrugs her shoulders. Her voice has softened a little. Just maybe. To spit in your face, or something like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludovin, maybe the guy deserves a chance, you never know. So you're going to apologize. Go on, give it your all. Take your time, take a deep breath. She breathes in deeply, then exhales. Like that. Ask her to leave the taxi, tell her about the attack. I mean... let's tell her about the attack, and possibly that might change the topic. I'm sorry, but I don't remember that night. Not memorable enough, huh? No, I've forgotten what happened that night. She freezes. A few minutes after I met you, I was attacked. Attacked by the judge, the serial killer. It's you. You survived. Yeah. A host of conflicting feelings flicker across the face. Doubt, surprise, anger, the desire to slap you. Then she falls back against the car seat, all her anger somehow gone. I didn't know. The police wanted to keep it all secret. I didn't see the killer's face, and he didn't see mine, for my own protection, for my peace of mind. The newspapers were... I work. They're looking for you. We have a reporter looking for you. The last few months have been difficult for you, really difficult. Are you going somewhere? Apologize. Yeah, I'll apologize. I'm still sorry. Even if I don't remember anything, even though I was attacked, it doesn't change anything, but you can't find the right words, maybe because you imagine for a moment a normal night how things should have been. Passengers, riders in Paris, a tourist heading to Mauritius or something, and your cigarettes, cheap packs of beer, the little radio next to your bed. The passengers clear her throat. Your passenger clears her throat. She notices your mind is elsewhere. Thanks. All her anger has ever ported. No more looks that could kill, simmering the rage or grinding teeth. My boyfriend was a jerk anyway, and then this job, maybe it wasn't so great. She gives you a little smile. I tend to get all worked up about things. You noticed. And sometimes I take things a little too far. That too. In Paris, I guess we are quick to forget about being nice to each other, about being polite. And for a taxi driver, you're a real sweetheart. She gives you a short laugh. This is what I suggest. I'm going to exit the cab. I'm going to go for a little walk in the cold to get my mind off things. And then, when I get home, I'll destroy all the information I have on you. Is that okay with you? You nod. Yes. Thank you. This word echoes for a minute through the taxi. Your passenger reaches for the door. The door opens, then closes. You're alone in the taxi, your head spinning slightly as if you'd had a drink, just one, but something really strong. You briefly tried to remember the night. Nothing. Nothing but a vague impression of something behind you. The killer's silhouette, a fleeting presence. You shake your head. There's nothing more than before. If only you had turned around, everything would have been easier if you had seen the face of... All at once you start the cab. Well, that was a rush. I'm sorry, did we get paid? Listen to the radio. Your fingers is posted in front of the car radio. You're trying to find something to listen to. Listen to the news. You happen to up on a nighttime news. In a vox pop about the judge, a Bissender bringing up the fact that the police have still not arrested the homeless and seen it near the crime scene. You raise an eyebrow at the bit of news. You didn't know that. As soon as the news is over, you turn the radio off so that the cab is silent again. Okay. Alright, let's get a bit of gas. And then we'll pick up our next passenger. No newspapers. What is that? You pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent light irritates your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up from the space in between the pumps. It's self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini smart over there, it must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple of questions. You get out of your taxi and are struck by the familiar feeling that you are the last person on Earth. Let's fill the tank. Tank full. Let's go ask some questions. You walk into the mini mart. There's a small smell coming off the guy running the shop at this station. Who's? Seriously, dude? Hey. Talk about the clerk. Toy Siri. Cash. Lottery. Newspaper. Talk with the clerk. So a guy like you, someone who spent most nights here, you must know something about the killer, right? He raises his head and seems almost happy you brought it up. Interesting? Cash can. No, we don't need any of that. Please come back soon. The clerk is still in the middle of his sentence when you leave the shop. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. You get into the taxi and drive away. Alright. Check the newspaper. You pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start sifting through it. Eventually something grabs your eye. It's quite involved article about the infamous police leaks affair, who, why, and how all the confidential data was released to the public. The Justice Department is now looking at a corrupt and violent cops who are known to be out of line. Concerned associations applied how transparent they were being. Yet the more you read, the more you get the impression the journalist does not agree with their methods. You turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Stop reading. Shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. Okay. So we'll eventually get back to that. Or not. Alright. See if we can get another passenger. It's So we've got a couple of leads. Fair's not great. Refuse. Right. Is there anything actually worth a darn? Check this guy out. That's not great either. Make it snappy? Yeah, hell no. How about her? She seems a little distressed. Needs to earn some cash. Bad. Considering we had to spend. Okay, there's a decent fare. Montparnasse, please. Accept. You pull up to the local police station to pick up your next passenger. She comes out from under an archway, visibly frightened. She slips into the back seat of the cab and gives you her address near Montparnasse. You glance at her in the rear view mirror and notice how she is dressed. Did they treat you well? Everything alright, ma'am? Everything alright? You start the cab. The passenger eyes you intently, relentless to speak. Yes? You can barely hear her. She points to the cab radio. Could I listen to the radio? You nod yes. Which station? My wallet was stolen. My dude. Your wallet was I need to make a living here. I'm sorry, but it sucks that your wallet got stolen, but how are you paying me? She pauses, then fixes your eyes on you. You freeze. I have money for the fare. Okay. Because I was about to say... Okay. The passenger senses your surprise. I just wanted to tell you I could pay. He looks down. What kind of music? Excuse me? The radio. What kind of music should I put on? Rock, classical, rap, news. Classical? The woman shakes her head. Now, could you turn on 89.4? You hold down the button until you get to the station. On 89.4, there's nothing but static. Are you sure that? A hint of a smile plays across her mouth, faint but a smile, even so. She waits a second or two before answering. Can you hear it? You lean forward slightly closer to the radio. Behind the sound of electric sputtering, there is something else, a shifting sound. It sounds like crackles, a chorus, a whale song, waves. Waves, because every now and then when I listen or hear it, it sometimes sounds like waves, to be honest. The passenger looks up. Heard something on the Shauna's ghost station. Huh, that's cool. That's right, there were waves in the background. Her voice is almost inaudible. That's perfectly natural, sir. Her sir gives you quite a start. It's the frequency that causes it. Its vibration is consistently dancing about, pulled by all the incredible forces surrounding us. Most people listen to music, to the news. As for me, when I work, I like to listen to the isolated frequencies like these. Their broadcast, but no one hears them. The proof that we exist. He smiles at you. You're getting close to the passenger's address now. And what do you do for a living? So you listen to frequencies? What do you do for a living? Math. He seems mesmerized by the sound of the wavelength. What kind of math? Are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? No, not at all. I do research. She gives you a sidelong glance. The client suddenly straightens up and points to the radio. It's beautiful, it's so incredibly beautiful. Listen. You listen. You only hear static at first. And then, little by little, a distant figure. The music takes shape and slips softly into your ears. Beautiful, isn't it? To me, they were a ghost, and that's why I studied science and later mathematics. I wanted to know why. You pull over. She gets the fare ready while you slowly turn up the radio. Beneath the layer of interference, someone is speaking. Like the voice of a child. Thank you. You emerge from your trance and take the fare. Your passenger exits the cab and walks away without another word. You sit there, immersed in the sound of the radio a while longer. It has a soothing effect on you. You start your engine and drive away. There's some good bank. Have y'all ever listened to static like that before? That's definitely an interesting concept. Okay, it looks like we have like one more. Oh, look at that. Is this the homeless guy that's, I don't remember what his name was. The other guy we picked up was talking about, and the investigation? So the time doesn't drop until after we do certain stuffs, it seems. Up till St. Louis, please. Paul Mayor Gorn. The fare is definitely worth it. Alright. Next passenger is your suspect, the retired policeman. Gotcha. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Up to St. Louis, please. You nod your head and start the engine. You notice right away that your passenger is cold, very cold. In fact, he is shivering and chattering his teeth. You start driving, but keep an eye on him. Turn up your heat. Are you okay? Yeah, just turn it up for him. He flashes a crooked smile. That's really nice. That's really not necessary. Thanks, though. I'm not cold. It's my medication. Pretty bizarre side effect. 1 minute I'm hot, then the next I'm cold. Not much fun, really, but it's far for my own good. His face says otherwise. He's not quite convinced. Actually, maybe it is the cold. It hasn't been this cold in ages. Since 1982, I think. 83, maybe? And almost in a whisper, he adds, the year of the tiger. The Chinese year of the tiger? Which tiger? Say nothing. The Chinese year of the tiger? He smiles. He's smiling now, but continues shivering ever so slightly. No, the year we hunted a tiger down in Paris. Nothing to do with the Chinese. It's a really nice story, actually. Well, maybe nice isn't the right word. You'll see. And it'll get my mind off things. He has a nervous laugh and is clearly uncomfortable, probably not used to appearing fragile. It was a late December. The weather was crap. Never been so cold in my life. The water in the fountains and gutters was frozen. Damn, that's a cold winter. At the office, most of the colleagues were sick, stuck in bed. I was sick too, but I was new, so I sucked it up. I wasn't blowing my nose every 5 minutes. My nose was red. My breath reeked of cough drops. We all looked like we were about to keel over. The switchboard phone rang and no one answered. I sighed, got up, picked up the phone. A woman screamed in my ear. A tiger, she seen a tiger, orange and black, big as a motorcycle in the Rue de Bussy. I burst out laughing, told her it was a good prank, and hung up. Less than a minute later, the phone rang again, the second line too, then the one in the chief's office. He points to different areas of the car as if he can still hear the phones ringing. A tiger. A real big one. Rudy Berra, Rudy Bexine, Rudy Bexin Arts. The passenger rubs his chin and seems deep in thought. We were starting to think something fishy was going on, so we got a move on. We grabbed our coats and scarves. One of the guys from the sequel called his brother-in-law, who works at the zoo in Venice. He sighs. Outside it was snowing buckets, huge flakes the size of your gear shift there. We were better off on foot. Then we got to St. Mitchell. We walked down the Quai de Grand Ostien, knocking on doors. The people we talked to wanted us to take their word for it. They swore they'd seen a tiger and they were dead serious. We walked the streets. The snow was slowly flowing, but only barely. He looks at you. I'm sure you're familiar with that moment in the middle of the night when Paris is completely quiet. You nod. It's incredible. Like the city just stops for a moment. Yeah, well, it was just like that. Utter and total calm. Absolute silence. The team broke into pairs. We checked all alleys and passageways. Back then, the neighborhood was like Swiss cheese, with nooks and crannies all over, garages built without permits. It wasn't the highbrow neighborhood it is today. He heaves a sigh. He seems sad. We went into this narrow street because my partner thought he saw paw prints, and he was right. There was snow all over the dumpster, on the roof of the garage, the buildings, balconies. The tiger had climbed up there, so we followed. We pulled out our weapons and started after the prints. Dumpster, garage roof, balconies. My partner was huffing and puffing. Huge puffs of steam were escaping from his mouth. The passenger snickers. He stopped and told me that we must look like our ancestors, like prehistoric men wielding flint spears. We couldn't help laughing. We knew how stupid we must look. We got up to the roof. The tiger was there. Damn, what a shock. It was a magnificent beast, almost 2 meters in size, maybe more. Took our breath away. The tiger looked at us. There was fear in his eyes. He was shaking. We realized we'd screwed up. We never should have come. If it attacked, we'd have to kill it. But neither of us wanted to kill it after seeing it. He stared at us. Paris was utterly calm, snow as far as the eye could see, a white skyline. And then the passenger pauses. He closes his eyes slowly. Something in his voice cracks. He jumps off the roof. It was remarkable. A moment of silence. He is still shivering. He's trying to escape. He tried to kill himself. He was trying to escape? Let's go with this one. No. He didn't aim for another building or for me or my partner. He jumped into the void. Knew he'd been cornered. The passenger needs a few seconds before going back to his story. We get the impression he's still shaking as much as when he got in. Okay, so as far as I understand when it comes to tigers, the only time that they act strange like this is obviously when they're scared, and 2, if they're sick. Or somebody else is sick. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. We leaned as far as we could off the roof to look below. It looked like he was asleep, lying comfortably on the snow. A giant orange and black spot on a feather bed. He watched the street go by. The hospital was close now. What happened next? Where did he come from? Yeah, where did he come from? It's funny, actually, and a bit more pleasant. He subtly grins. Some pretty crooks in the north thought it would be quite a hoot to have a pet tiger. Of course. So one fine day, they went to a circus and swiped the tiger. Why? While they were driving back home through Paris, the tiger tried to eat and they decided to let him go on the spot. Right in St. Germain de Pries. A grin spread across his face. Morons. He parked in front of the hospital. The passenger suddenly speaks up. His voice sounds more confident than before. I think I'd do it just that the tiger did. His death seemed so calm and gentle. Like it can't hurt too much to fall onto a huge bed of feathers. He glanced quietly as his shaking hand. He glances quiet. Okay. In the review mirror, the police inspector seems oddly small, as if he had shrunk during the ride. Seriously, it can't hurt too much. He hands you his money and gets out of the cab. You watch him walk away without saying a word. The sliding door at the entrance to the hospital take her far too long to open. You drive away. Not a decent tip, but definitely an interesting story. We still have time to work. That's what I thought. You now know more about your clients. Check. Okay. Met Evan. Okay. Expenses or more. Things didn't go so well at first. You confess to learn you were one of the killer's victims. but they ended up okay. You have met Soro. More or less recapping the night. Here's something on Soro's Ghost Station. Okay. Yeah, it's just recapping on what happened. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drip drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name written in thick black marker on the front. The real name. Your real name. Take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information just as Bassett promised. You lay them on the table. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Step in the hallway. They stop in front of your door, then move away. You glance at your bed and get to work. Alright. Picture of crime scene 4, given by Bassett. Police report victim 1, given by Bassett. Given, police reports. Not enough time. Oh, shit, okay. Alright. Weapon, rare gun used in, okay. Retired cop joined the police, blah blah blah. This judge. Course from a judge born in France and moved to Finland, France. Oh, we can, okay. We tie them together. Cop in Paris. Dad was a cop, financial affairs, died 2 years ago. Mom, okay. Okay. Victim Wolfie. Definitely not him. Gas station. Here at gas station. Homeless man seen around crime scene 2 and 3. Shit, I didn't even look at that. Message on crime scene 2. You deserve this. How are they linked? Killer Heights. Oh, okay. I don't think it's him, though. Okay, victim 3, colonel of the June and process. Message on crime scene 3, link to process. Message on crime scene 3, time's up. Victim 3, known to have tortured prisoners. Okay, and we don't have a whole lot on him. Maybe. We just don't have enough information. And not enough time to go over these. It sucks. Alright. End the night. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open your eye. You open one eye. It's pitch black outside, time for work. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 3. Alright. 2 new places to check out. Possibly get a lead. But if we gotta pay for it, we definitely need to up our income. But alright guys, that is where I'm going to call this episode. So if you're enjoying Night Call, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to watch and get notified for the next episode. Also, if you enjoy horror games, indie games, and anything dark, you might enjoy the channel. So, peace out, guys.